Man, this ultrakill video is kind of popping off. How do I ride this momentum? I know.
Finally found it. Flavor Town.
This was me a few weeks ago going to a Guy Fieri restaurant. If you don't know who Guy Fieri is, that's okay. You're just gonna burn in hell. Guy Fieri, well known for being the star and host of Guy's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and owner of multiple restaurant chains, with every comedian having an obligation to clown on him. What he's most well known for, though, is being the guardian and gatekeeper of Flavor Town. Contrary to what it sounds like, Flavor Town is not a place, rather a state of being. People who reach it call it a level higher than Nirvana, a perfect state of being, and I was determined to reach that point. Upon walking inside, I was promptly turned away because they were closed for an event that day. The gates to heaven were closed shut on me, so I had no choice but to go back the next week. Not the next day because I had to write a lab report. The day's weather was infinitely worse. I think there also might have been something going on with the traffic, but who knows. Upon walking inside, I realized I was going to have no footage of me eating because I'd feel like a terrible person filming in a public space, so there's basically no footage from here on out, even though it's a restaurant review. What I can say though is that if you forgot who owned the restaurant chain you're eating at, you can always count on the booth chairs to remind you. Upon struggling to figure out how to open the menu, I opened it up to see one section on the menu. Burgers. Now I don't know about you, but I remember watching Triple D growing up and seeing multiple clips of Guy Fieri eating burgers. So how could I not order a big bite burger? This one's literally voted the best burger in Las Vegas. I'd be a damned fool if I decided to eat anything else.
Can I get the chicken parmesan fettuccine, please?
Critics of my review will say I was setting myself up for failure by ordering a chicken parmesan. Normally, other restaurant reviews would have B-roll of the interior design at this point, but there were people eating at the bar like 4 feet from me, so I'd feel like kind of a jackass if I did that. So here's some stock photos from the restaurant's website. Holy shit. When my food arrived, the first thing I did was try to visualize how large it was by putting my hand on top of it. I honestly cannot tell you what was going through my head at this moment, but if you needed proof that I'm mentally unwell, here it is. Also, you may notice a gratuitous amount of cheese on the chicken parmesan. This just might be what the rest of the video is about. I knew it was a bad sign when the sauce stuck together on the noodles like this. Some might say the actual bad sign was when I asked for the dish in the first place, but as Greek philosopher Plato said, "Shut up, you're being mean." Taking my first bite of this thing, my mouth was filled with a wonderful flavor of cheese. The dish is just cheese. Like, yeah, the chicken was actually pretty good, but oh my god, this dish has so much cheese in it. You know the BuzzFeed cooking channel Tasty that was pretty popular in 2018, and how they had a chronic obsession with putting too much cheese in everything? Well, personally, I think this dish outdoes that by a mile. It makes you wonder why we still have excess cheese stored in the caves of Missouri. If people have been putting literal wheels of cheese into this one dish, how do we still have a cheese problem? I'm pretty sure a lactose intolerant person would explode into diarrhea just by looking at this thing. I also forgot to take a picture of it, but when I finished eating this thing, there was still just a layer of melted cheese on the entire bottom of the dish. I left that day, having not reached Flavor Town, and feeling a little scammed. Critics of this review will say that I self-sabotaged myself by ordering chicken, but if anything, the real winner of today was Guy Fieri, who swindled me out of $33 with promises of achieving Nirvana and reaching Flavor Town.